just a second. Just a second, let me just tweet this out so that everyone knows what we're talking about here. Out we go. Just need to repeat that as well via my channel. You'll see shortly. Day 3 of cloud co-working. Where are we? I want to repeat that. Come on. Regarding 365, just tweeted. There we go. Let's retweet this. Alrighty then. So back to you guys. Yep, sweet. Yeah, day 3. So I'm about to join the cloud co-working space. This is regarding 365's little experiment with connecting people who work on their own and want to just be part of an office ambience. And I've prepped Owen. He knows what's coming. He's retweeting this too. So let's get in and join it. Now I'm joining via the Edge browser to start with. And this is me joining the meeting as myself. Owen's coming in. I'm a guest user in Lorian's tenant. Let me just turn that video on. Okay, that's right. Just a moment there, Owen. I'm tweaking a few. I'm a bit greedy with my cameras, people. So we'll just use the integrated camera there on my laptop. That's better. The famously awesome Dell XPS nozzle angle. And we'll just change this microphone over to here too. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Hey Owen, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you? You look great, by the way.
Oh, okay. You know,
I like this perspective of you.
Yeah, hang on, let me just face it at the correct angle.
There you go. There you go. Oh, it's Daryl. I get it now.
Yeah, that's right, it's me. It's not,
Windows Hello didn't quite work the same.
No, it didn't. But Owen Hello worked.
Owen Hello worked, yes.
Yeah. So bringing the audience up to speed, Owen, we were playing around just earlier and found some interesting feature. I don't know how long it's been there, you know, in typical cloud fashion. I think that it may have been there for a little while, but we've been waiting for this, where you can invite someone to a meeting and they don't have to be authenticated into a tenant. So given the background, this is Lorian's tenant. He has created the team, and Owen and I are guests, and we're able to join and be part of what's going on here.
Using our Office 365 work and school accounts, and that he invited us in as general guest users.
Yep, thanks for filling in that gap, definitely. We could have been using Microsoft accounts now.
Recently they added support for that, right?
So,
well,
I think
you could have used it in SharePoint, but they didn't add it for. In fact, in Teams, it's just rolling out, right? So it wouldn't have worked in Teams, or might still not work in Teams, but it would have worked in SharePoint if you had a Microsoft account. Yeah,
that's right. So it is, I think, still running out or rolling out to Teams. They may be close to completing that, but yeah, we'll see how that works out. But I don't know how long this has been here, but I'll just open up the meeting information. If you have a look at the top right hand corner of any meeting, I'm sitting here in the Edge browser, but it could be in the Teams client or the Chrome browser as well. I'll open up participants, and we've got various different people that are part of this team. And we talked yesterday about whether, if I see someone that's online, do I just invite them in or not? I saw Alistair there, and I just added him in. It's entirely up to him if he ignores the call or not, but he did join. Now, what I have noticed is this copy join info. Don't know how well it's coming out across the internets, but it is right beside the invite someone search box. Now, when I grab that information, let me just bring that over to something a little more interesting here. Just grab that and share it over here. Sorry about that. I'm putting it over Owen's face, but he'll be okay for a little while. Okay, let's try that again. Copy info. Copy to clipboard. And where was that? That's better. I don't know why it lost the formatting earlier. But you see that it looks very familiar. It looks just like the link that you might see in an invite to a Teams meeting. Now, what I'm doing from here, I could send this in an email or via instant messenger or whatever, as long as the person receiving it is receiving that link. But just for ease of use in this demonstration, we'll copy the link. So it's sitting there on my clipboard. And I want you to watch this. Now I'm going to change my screens up a bit. I have a second browser open. There we go. It is in private, so it's not logged in or authenticated as anyone. It's just an in-private browser session. And we'll add the link to our address bar and hit enter. Okay, now it is, again, it's Edge because I'm wanting to try and demonstrate some of the other capabilities there. Now Edge seems to go a little step further and say, oh, you've got Microsoft Teams, do you want to switch to that? No, not at this stage. I'll join on the web. So what's happening is it will bring us to a landing page where I can introduce myself to the meeting. Very similar to what we do with Skype for Business, where if you're an anonymous meeting attendee, then you can drop in the name that you want to be known as, and that will appear in the participants list. Now, you shouldn't experience this first page where it says, I can't access your camera and mic. That's just because I'm greedy and I'm running 2 cameras already, so there's nothing left. So you might be able to make some adjustments there. I'm going to continue without it, and I'll enter a name. So this is Daryl as anon, and join. Alright, and you'll see up in the participants window here, there you go, there's someone waiting in the lobby. That's the anonymous user. We'll let them in.
The anonymous user?
The anonymous user.
Does he have to show any sort of ID when he comes in, or just a name?
Well, it's just a name, and the lobby is the catch, or the catch. I guess like the buffer there. There's still no way to really communicate with this person in the lobby. That would be kind of cool, though, wouldn't it? You could send them a message and say, "Hi, who's this?"
So they got into the lobby because they had the copy join link. So we know they're only in the lobby if they have the link you sent them. So that's one shared secret for their authentication.
Mm-hmm.
And unless they share it out with a bunch of other people and we're taking in a meeting with 15 or 20 anonymous users, it'd be fun to figure out or to ask Microsoft what the level of anonymous user support was for this meeting. Do you think it goes all the way up to the 250 or whatever it is for a typical Teams meeting?
I think that it's just going to be limited by participant. So whether you're anonymous or authenticated, I think it'll go up to that full limit of what you can pack into a Teams meeting.
Okay.
Anyway, we won't leave anon waiting for too long. But yeah, good point. We've shared that secret with a few people. So this is not a link that you want to drop out there onto the internet and say, "Hey everyone, join this meeting."
First 150 people get in.
yeah, that's right. We'll let the guest in. So this is an anonymous guest. And hopefully you don't hear this echo that I'm hearing here.
I do not hear an echo.
Okay, so you don't hear it. What I'm hearing is too, and that's because of the way that I'm capturing this for YouTube. This could be very confusing for our audience right now.
I'm hearing a little echo now. I wasn't a second ago.
Okay, so I'll talk quickly, and then we'll Daryl the anonymous user out soon. On the bottom screen, you're seeing on YouTube, you've got Daryl on the left, you've got Owen on the right. And the person viewing that is Daryl the anon person.
All right, so I was able to go in the participants and mute Daryl Anonymous, and that might have fixed the echo.
That has helped some. Great. In the top screen, you're seeing my view of the meeting. Daryl, the authenticated guest, who's part of this team. I have Owen on the left, and I have Daryl, the anonymous person, on the right. Pretty cool. All right, what else can we do with this anonymous guest? Using the ellipsis menu, we've got more options. We can remove the participants, and the participant is already muted. Okay. Well, I think we'll leave it there. That's enough of a test. So we'll get the anonymous user to drop off. Okay, that's left. And flick on back over to our Owen and Daryl session. Owen, what do you think of that? Is that going to be useful?
The copy join link? Sure.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be useful. Think of it as when you're doing a service call and you want to bring the customer in for short visits, or bring in an expert for short visits who's not in the team. There's no reason that copy join link can't be used to bring someone else in the company who's not in the team, but you need to bring him in just for this call, right? A subject matter expert.
Yeah, that's a good point too. It is just for this call. So if I go back to the wider view of this whole team, when I do that, Owen's now in the top left-hand corner, and I can cruise around and use the rest of the team to work on things, to type up files and engage in conversation. You can see the current meeting that Owen and I are in. It's ticking away there. That's the meeting that the guest has been invited to. It doesn't mean that they'll be joining the team and seeing all this conversation, nor will it mean that they can join any old meeting that gets fired up and started in this team. It's a unique link that goes through to just that meeting, just like you'd expect with Skype for Business. Alright, well, I think that's enough to demonstrate. Other comments that I'd say around day 2, learnings from day 2. Owen, you were busy yesterday, weren't you?
You noticed I wasn't on yesterday, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's very kind of you to notice.
You didn't manage to drop into our cloud co-working space, but that's
Are we still
the thing
being
about
recorded?
Cloud co-working. If you're in a co-working space, sometimes you're there, sometimes you're not. I connected with Lorian for a bit. Alice.
Are we still on air
in the morning? Yeah, we are.
Okay, all right.
So
good.
This is just reflections about.
I was very busy yesterday then.
Very, very busy. Just reflections on day 2. So what we find is that there are a few people that are dipping in and they understand the experiment, like Owen and Alistair and Lorian, who's still on holiday, and he'll be more active certainly next week when he comes back from the US with his family. We've got a few other members of the team which I might just knock on their door and say, hey, do remember to log in and be part of the experiment. And this is the thing about being mindful of this co-working space. If you're working in your own tenant, your own Skype for Business, your own Teams client, you won't necessarily be thinking, oh, I should log into this co-working space and switch to that. You might remain in the teams that you're currently working in. So this experiment is going to have some interesting results and behaviours, but we'll see if we can encourage some of the other people here. Now, just I guess as a call to action, now that we have found this anonymous guest link, what I might do is DM some of you that I know, and if you're interested too, then reply to the tweet that I sent out a little earlier, and I'm going to be in here all day on and off. As a co-working spaces, Owen will be in here on and off, and whoever else joins. We'll just see what this is like as we get anon people into this co-working space. And remember, it'll only be for this meeting instance when I share it out. So if you're available, come and join us. I recommend using the Edge browser for this because it will give you the video and the audio. If you're wanting to use your Teams client, then I believe that it will also allow you to do that too. But if you're wanting to remain in two places at once, in your company's team and in this co-working space, it might be best to use the Edge browser.
Daryl, I can already envision that after this week or next week is done with the group of 12, that we find a place to do this where we have 50 or 75 people who have registered, and and maybe it's hosted in a different place, or maybe it's a different tenant that's dedicated to this. I don't know yet, but then it becomes the larger the network is, the more value is, right? And so the more people that are registered for the co-working, the more value there would be. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm not sure if this week or next week we grow it to that number, unless you send out a couple of these links. But I can see how starting in April 1st, we probably should find a way to do that.
Yeah, I think so. And you and I had been working on getting a tenant together for just regarding 365, so that we can do these kinds of experiments and coordinate our activities. So potentially it'll sit in there. But yeah, looking forward to getting that going. So just as a call to action, I will share that link with a few people via DM or over Twitter. And if you are interested, then respond to that original tweet where I've referenced this this live stream, and we'll close out. Thanks everyone. Catch you later.
Have a great day.